Welcome, everybody. We are so excited to be celebrating this day ahead of schedule. I want to thank a number of elected officials who are with us today. We have Trinidad City Council Rusty Goodall. We have Senator Larry Crowder. We have one of our terrific new Parks and Wildlife commissioners. Haven't had the chance to say hi to him yet, but Duke Phillips is with us. We have Trinidad Mayor Rico. We have Trinidad Councilor Aaron Fogarty, County Commissioner Tony Haas, and Felix Lopez. We also have Trinidad State College President Rhonda Eppers with us. I'll be visiting Trinidad Junior College right after this. And we have our terrific bill sponsors, without whom this day wouldn't be possible. And I want to thank Senate President Leroy Garcia and Representative Danae Escar. Thank you for making this day possible. We're also joined here by Director of Department of Natural Resources, Dan Gibbs, Shoshana Liu from CDOT, because part of the improvements that we needed to do were the new off-ramp and make sure the park's accessible. Parks and Wildlife Executive Director Dan Prenslow. Dr. Rhonda Epper is with us. We have Lottery Director Tom Seaver. And you might recall that GOCO funds helped make this possible as well. We're very grateful for that. GOCO Executive Director Chris Castillion. Outdoor Recreation Industry Office Director Nathan Fay. At our Office of Economic Development and International Trade, we have a big focus on growing jobs and opportunity in outdoor tourism and recreation. In addition to, of course, Fisher's Peak being an amazing opportunity for Trinidad and Pueblo residents to enjoy our great outdoors, it's also of great benefit to the local economy, as folks from New Mexico, Colorado Springs, and Denver, and other parts of the country all come to enjoy one of our largest and most majestic state parks right here in Trinidad. And I want to thank everybody. We also have DOLA Director Rick Garcia is with us as well. This is a great collaboration. This is really the Colorado way. This wouldn't have happened, and we wouldn't be here today without the work of the City of Trinidad, without the work of the Nature Conservancy, and Carlos Fernandez is with us here. Thank you, Carlos. The Trust for Public Land, the Colorado Lottery, and Great Outdoors Colorado, and Colorado Parks and Wildlife. And I want to thank all of those partners for helping us achieve where we are today. You know, Colorado Parks and Wildlife has worked hard throughout this pandemic. We were one of the only states to keep our state park system open, even during the national shutdown. We always wanted to provide those outdoor opportunities for Coloradans to enjoy our great outdoors. And you know what? There's been even more demand in the pandemic, which is good that people want to get outside, enjoy the vast great outdoors where it's easier to be further away from one another. We've had record number of folks at our parks, heightened demand for hunting and fishing licenses. They're working on wildlife viewing. Really, there's been so much demand to get this part of the property open so folks can experience Fisher's Peak State Park. And of course, today is just the beginning of the opening. There's more phases of design to be completed, and the park will be fully open with improvements over the next few years. But this is the first public access in a major way. We let a few of the sort of winners and pass holders get on here a few weeks ago, but this is the first general public access. And stay tuned as we open additional access. We're going to finalize the master plan for the park. Of course, there's going to be public comment that can come in as part of that, both from Trinidad residents and park users from across the state. We're working closely with CDOT to design the traffic flow and build signage and the phases of construction, and of course hiring the staff. And we're going to make sure that public meetings and opportunity for public comment are a big role of that planning process. Our goals, of course, permanent conservation of the property, protecting its natural and historic resources, and accessibility, creating this amazing park that we are excited to recreate in and is a nexus of economic activity and jobs for southern Colorado. That means there's a lot of science that guides us. CPW and partner biologists are studying the property, they're cataloging the wildlife, they're learning about ecosystems. Also, some of that will be part of the outreach for kids and others who visit to learn about what's here. Engineers will evaluate the best place to put trails, taking into account where there might be stable land versus mudslides, where they can make permanent improvements, the best places for roads and restrooms and campgrounds and facilities. So it's open for a peek. Pardon the pun, right? Fisher's Peak's open for a peek. It's got open. But that full opening with all of the amenities that we expect will be developed in the near future. And we're also going to make sure they take a role in looking at the archaeological and cultural resources on the property that'll also influence the way we do the interpretive displays and the educational piece, which is so important for people of all ages, but particularly school children and families. So today's our first look. The potential is so amazing. Website's also launching, FishersPeakStatePark.com, now accessible. And once people see the amazing view, there's drone footage on there, absolutely incredible. I know they're going to want to come here. So to those of you in the area who want to come to the park and be part, you can plan a short visit before 3 p.m. today. Your daily park pass will give you access to all parks in the system today, including Trinidad Lake State Park on the other side of I-25 under the same management. And we hope that as you take a look at Fisher's Peak, you give us feedback about what you'd like to see as the park is fully built out. Look, in Colorado, we love the outdoors. This year, we've seen state park and public land visitation go through the roof. Now more than ever before, we're turning to the outdoors to recreate, to spend time safely with our families. And now is really the perfect time to look to the future of outdoor recreation in Colorado. Now that Fisher's Peak is open, Colorado Parks and Wildlife will be exploring and evaluating new potential sites for additional state parks and expansion of existing state parks, and we want your help. CPW is a public process seeking nominations of sites for consideration, sites that we can enjoy. They could be private land and proposed by current landowners for acquisition, or trust land, existing CPW land owned by the state. Could be properties that are held by the federal or local governments that we could do a lease or a swap or an acquisition through CPW. But what's important is that they are preserved for the future, and that we as Coloradans have access, and that we recognize their role as drivers of the local economy in areas that need jobs in our state. And you know, Coloradans may have other innovative ideas beyond land. Maybe a partnership with an existing organization, creative solutions for accessible transportation to a new potential park. We all want to hear your ideas. And for these nominations, Colorado Parks and Wildlife will identify the top tier sites. Staff will conduct on-the-ground visits. They'll consult with the property owners, the cities, the counties, work with regional staff. So you can make your nomination on the CPW website. We also have other exciting news about new forms of collaboration we're going to announce here today. But this also really wouldn't have achieved this day without the great work of our Director of Natural Resources, Dan Gibbs, who's going to say a few words. Dan, thank you.
Thank you, Governor, and thank you so much for your amazing leadership. It seems like yesterday that the Governor said, let's make this happen. Let's make it happen this year, and really appreciate your leadership on this. This is definitely a historic day for the Colorado Department of Natural Resources. The opening of Fisher's Peak State Park would not have been possible without strong support from local governments, businesses, and unique partnerships with nonprofit organizations coming together. So I especially want to thank, again, the Governor for his leadership, the sponsors of Senate Bill 3. It was dicey at times, but you have all-star, amazing legislators with the Senate President, and also with Representative Escar leading the way with that. Colorado Parks and Wildlife, thank you so much, Dan Prinzel and your team. Amazing. Want to give a special shout out to Crystal Dreiling, the park manager for this park. She knows the numbers better than anyone, but hundreds and hundreds of hours of people that have come together to work on building trails already, and she's been instrumental in making that happen. Colorado Lottery and GoCo, thank you. Los Animas County Commissioners, Trinidad City Council, and of course Mayor Rico, nonprofit partners. You know, Carlos is here in Nature Conservancy, Jim Peterson as well with Trust for Public Land. Who would have thought, you know, so quickly we can make this happen, and thanks for your amazing leadership from day one. So thank you. Colorado's 42nd and second largest state park will ensure that residents of southern Colorado will have first-class amenity here. The iconic Fisher's Peak and wildlife habitat recreation opportunities will be protected for future generations, and I can't wait to bring my little kids here. We also celebrate our newest state park today, as the governor mentioned, but also want to hear from Coloradans as we hear about future ideas for state parks around the state. Today, Parks and Wildlife has opened a state park nomination process on its website to solicit ideas, and we really want to hear from people on where our next state park should be. Also, finally, I want to thank Governor for signing, up next soon here, signing our Colorado Outdoor Regional Partnership executive order, which will result in a statewide vision and balance conservation and recreation for the benefit of the public and private lands, water, and wildlife. Fisher's Peak State Park would not have been possible without tremendous partnership between state government, nonprofits, local stakeholders, and we hope the new regional partnerships initiative will result in similar community-led projects around the state that balance the needs of wildlife and natural resources with the development of understanding and supporting our recreational opportunities in Colorado. So as the governor has said repeatedly, one of his key goals is to get Coloradans out in the vast great outdoors and protect what we love about this state. So thank you everyone for being here, and I also want to next introduce our leader of our Colorado Department of Transportation, Shoshana Liu, who's also a great supporter of our public lands and our state parks. So Shoshana.
Good morning, and first of all, a big congratulations to Dan and to all of the partners who've worked so hard to make this project happen. We're really thrilled at CDOT to be a supporting actor to everybody who's put their heart and soul into making this day come. You know, we know and we hope that this project will mean more traffic in the area, because all the folks coming to enjoy the vast great outdoors will need to get here. And, you know, one of the conveniences of this park is it being right along I-25, you know, the central north-south artery of our state, and exit 11 being the most proximate point of access to this location. Exit 11 is one that our partners in the area have known for a long time has needed work from a safety perspective, and it's on our 10-year plan at CDOT, but it's also something that's been important to Trinidad and to all of the folks in this planning region for a very long time. So we were very pleased to be able to accelerate this project, to be able to get it into planning so that we will be on track to have it bid out for construction next season. This project includes $11 million for the interchange itself, and that will include roundabouts on each side, which is widely known to be a very safe way to get people on and off the highway. It's a technique that we frequently use when we're balancing the needs of highway traffic with beautiful places and residential communities. And it also includes elements of multimodal transportation to help folks get across the street, to access trail systems, and to plan both connectivity to the other resources in this area in a way that we hope will really help to connect the region. So there's, in the planning budget, an additional $2 million that will be part of that broader planning process to tie that the transportation infrastructure into other areas. You know, we know that just as the park itself is early in its development, so too are the infrastructure needs. We know that there will continue to be conversations with the city, with the county, you know, with everyone who uses it about what we need for sort of the future infrastructure to support this beautiful place. And CDOT, like DNR and others, looks forward to continuing those conversations about how to support the park, how to support downtown Trinidad, and how to kind of continue to grow these places we love. Thank you. I'd like to introduce our colleague from CPW.
Thank you, Shoshana. Dan Prenzlow, Colorado Parks and Wildlife Director. I do want to thank the governor for solidifying a statewide vision for conservation and recreation for our public lands, waters, and wildlife to ensure our communities are healthy, livable, and successful for future generations with the signing of today's executive order. Balancing Colorado's conservation and recreation needs is the heart of what keeps Colorado, Colorado, and why people live in this state. The executive order lays out three primary goals. First, to ensure that Colorado lands, waters, and wildlife thrive in the face of development, climate change, population growth, and other threats and uses on the landscape. Secondly, establish a state-level vision for conservation and recreation and convene voices from different outdoor interests, races, cultures, ages, and sectors through regional partnerships to inform the development of a shared strategy and statewide vision with a very strong local bent. And thirdly, identify additional stable and long-term funding for multiple sustainable sources to provide for the critical investments needed to conserve Colorado's landscapes, rivers, and wildlife. We're proud to work with the stakeholders from all perspectives in Colorado to ensure the future health of our lands and waters and wildlife. The Colorado Outdoor Partnership will establish our statewide vision for conservation and recreation. And with that, I want to say thanks. I appreciate everybody's participation. I also want to again thank Senator Leroy Garcia, Representative Danae Iskar for helping carry the bill that helped with the infrastructure here. We can't say thanks enough for that. So with that, I'll turn it over to Dr. Rhonda Epper, President of Trinidad Junior College.
Good afternoon, everyone. I would also like to thank Governor Polis for your leadership and for giving me the opportunity to speak today at this important and joyous occasion. And I just have to say it again, the opening of Colorado's 42nd State Park. It's absolutely exciting for everyone here in this community, including Trinidad State Junior College. Our collaboration between the college and the partners of Fisher's Peak continues to grow. In the spring, we'll be launching a new associate's degree in trail management and construction, which will introduce students to trails and their impact on the landscape, ecology, and long-term sustainability. Students will be learning to create trail plans as they consider erosion control and learn to use tools and equipment for trail building. This park will serve as a field school for our students, helping to meet our shared missions of education and conservation and creating a qualified workforce pipeline in this important outdoor employment sector. But it's not just about trails. We're also hoping to have our students out on this land learning about biology, geology, archaeology, and natural resources. We envision future connecting points with our arts and sciences programs, as well as our drone technology program. My dream for our students and for Trinidad is for the entire state to discover and experience this treasure that we've known for generations. But it's also important to bring that large vision back to our local neighbors, our local students, and Trinidad State Junior College, which sits right here in the shadow of Fisher's Peak. Our college has many assets to offer as we build out the new state park. We can provide research space, as well as artifact, specimen, and document storage for researchers who will come from near and far to study and learn more about the park. Indeed, we've done that for years on behalf of the Army Corps of Engineers, housing artifacts from Trinidad Lake at our Archaeology Museum. Our team is eager to connect TSJC coursework with university research and programs. We're eager to form transfer agreements and grow opportunities for our local students. We are committed to raising the educational attainment of our local population and to eliminate the equity gaps that have long existed in our area. And I'd just like to make a plea for our local students. Our local kids, they know this land. They know the mountains, the fields, and the plains that surround Fisher's Peak. They have grown up hunting, fishing, playing, and observing the wildlife of the area. But many have not had opportunities to explore it educationally or to connect their knowledge to a potential career path. This park has the potential to inspire a new generation of scientists, conservationists, trail builders, land technicians, and outdoor enthusiasts from our local community. These young people who have grown up around these lands and for whom it's part of their heritage will be our best stewards of tomorrow and will preserve this land for future generations. let's make sure that they have opportunities to fully participate in the economic revitalization that Fisher's Peak will bring to our region. Finally, let me just say that I'm so proud to be part of this historic moment. The partnerships that brought this new state park together are simply extraordinary, and they demonstrate the commitment of many agencies and state and local organizations. On behalf of Trinidad State Junior College, I thank you for allowing us to be part of this celebration today, and I look forward to building our future together. Before I hand the microphone back to the governor, and as he comes up, I have a special gift to present to the governor from our baseball team.
All right.
This is a very special jersey from our award-winning season of Region 9 championships from 2008. There's very few of these left, and our baseball team wanted you to have them.
Can I come practice with them sometime?
Absolutely.
Okay, I'm gonna come practice with them sometime. So I didn't bring my glove this trip, but I'll come down next time. 42nd State Park. We are so proud. Hopefully the first of many more to come. I also want to acknowledge we're joined by State Representative Don Valdez is with us. Don. And Senator Crowder wanted to remind me to mention that there's also the utilization of the park with grazing. Some of the pre-existing rights and historic use. This was actually much of the property was the flying the Crazy Frenchman Ranch. So it's been a working ranch. The grazing piece will continue. That also is part of the educational piece and part of the historic usage and the land management. So we're excited that that's another part of this as well. Today, I'm about to sign an executive order that builds on the work that's been done to ensure that we're all talking together to make sure we, in Colorado, continue to be a world-class outdoor destination for ourselves, from people from across the country and from when they're allowed to come here, people from other countries as well, while preserving our land, water, wildlife, quality of life. This executive order establishes the Colorado Outdoor Regional Partnership Initiative. Through this initiative, the Department of Natural Resources, Colorado Parks and Wildlife, and the Colorado Outdoor Partnership will really work together to help facilitate a statewide vision for the future of outdoors that will balance the need for additional recreation space with access, right, in the right areas that need it, not areas that are over-trafficked today, with all the factors that impact our landscape, water, wildfire, climate change, fire risk, to inform a statewide conservation and recreation plan. And really, we look forward to engaging with you on this process, and it will create the Interagency Conservation and Recreation Council to really coordinate the work around outdoor recreation and conservation. Very excited about that today. In moments after I sign this order, I will be getting my own day pass at the kiosk, and then we're going to walk up the trail. If you'd like to see an even better view of Fisher's Peak, not too far. What is it? A couple hundred yards-ish? Yeah, a couple hundred yards up the trail. We're going to go on a little walk there and be able to see an even more breathtaking view of Fisher's Peak. We're going to cut the ribbon with our legislators. We don't want to forget that. First, we're going to cut the ribbon. See, we can't get onto the trail if the ribbon's blocking it. So we're going to cut the ribbon first with our legislative members here, and then we will go on a 100-yard hike. For those of you who are ready, I'll just tell a little story about hikes. So, when I was in Congress, one of the main pieces of legislation I worked on was the CORE Act in Eagle and Summit County, preserving over 400,000 acres. Now Representative Magoo, Senator Bennett are working on it. They'll get it done. It's important for our state. But the chair of the Natural Resources Committee, Raul Grijalva from Arizona, he's an important stakeholder. I had to win over, the chair to, well, I guess he was the ranking member at the time, with the plan. And if you've ever met Raul from Arizona, to put it kindly, and he'd be the first to admit, he's a little overweight. He's also a chain smoker. So not in the best shape. And there we are at about 10,000, 11,000 feet. So what we did is, there's a 12,000 foot peak there. It's a 12,200 or something. That's one of the smaller, peaks that's part of in the CORE Act. So we were able to drive right up, probably about 20 feet, And then we said, okay, Raul, you're gonna walk with me these last 20 feet to the top. He made it. He was huffing and puffing, but he made it those 20 feet. And I said, now you can say that you peaked a 12,000 footer right here in Colorado. And he's very proud of that. He still brags about that. We're gonna make that part of a new wilderness area in Eagle and Summit County, thanks to the work of Senator Bennett and Representative Magoo. So just wanted to share that little story. It's a fun story. We're gonna cut the ribbon in a moment. Please, if the legislators could join us. Ready? No, not yet. I know, I just said that. You guys ready? Yeah. Excited. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. This is Pete. Woo! Congratulations, everybody.
Where's Dan Prince?
Senate President is going to stand behind them. Dan.
Dan Prince, where's Dan?
Dan?
Prince.
Oh, let me get the...
Representative Ansar?
Ready?
Director Prenzlow, could you? Thank you.
All right. Thank you, everybody.
Woo! Do you need the mic?
After we hike or before?
Walk-in classes, but we did test it. But you have the first vehicle.
Oh, that's great. We'll have to frame this. Yeah. This is the first vehicle. Whoa, whoa. Oh, want to lose that? Got to put that on the windshield or you'll ticket me. Okay. This is the very first vehicle passed for Fisher's Peak State Park. First of many. This is going to be one of our most popular state parks. Thank you. Good to see you there. Good to see you.
So it's yours?
Thank you. We'll frame that.
One more time, please.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Excellent. Thank you.
And can we let's take good care of that.